Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik, Voss, and will there really be multiple Doctor Doom variants in Avengers Doomsday, but no Wanda Maximoff or Moon Knight? With the Avengers Doomsday trailer reportedly weeks away, trusted news source Collider reporting that the trailer will show before Avatar Fire and Ash on December 18th. Lots of details about this movie and what we might be seeing as early as the first teaser are starting to make the rounds. And in this video, I'm going to update you on everything we do know and how this report of multiple Doom variants could actually be the bridge between the Kang Dynasty version of this project and what it is now, and answer some big questions about Doctor Doom that Fantastic Four First Steps left a mystery. By the way, we're having a huge holiday sale at Nerd Riot all month long. We're kicking off with a buy one, get one 50% off deal at nerdriot.shop. We'll also have Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals coming soon. Buying a shirt from Nerd Riot is the best way to support the channel. Just head to nerdriot.shop and pick one out for yourself. This week, speculation began to spread that Avengers Doomsday would actually feature multiple Doctor Doom variants, including female Dooms. This came from somewhat reliable scooper Daniel RPK, Daniel Rickman, on his Patreon. As always, we don't really know what Daniel's sources are here, but the reason this claim is resonating is it seems to align with the previous version of what we thought this plot was going to be in Avengers the Kang Dynasty. If true, this would also help reconcile some questions raised about Doctor Doom in Fantastic Four First Steps. Is the version of Doctor Doom that we see in the post-credit scene with Franklin Richards the same Victor Von Doom who was supposed to be sitting in the chair for the Latverian delegation at the Future Foundation? What exactly was the movie saying about that chair being empty? No one who's worked on this movie will say yet. Furthermore, there's the point I made in the video last week that there must have been some Doctor Doom in the 838 universe of John Krasinski's Reed Richards in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, if Reed's using Doctor Doom's time portal to move around and the Future Foundation is patrolled by these Ultron sentries that seem like they're one generation away from being Doom bots. So where exactly does the Doom played by Robert Downey Jr. come from? And will Marvel start to answer this question in the marketing for this movie, or make us wait 13 months from now to find out when we watch the movie? Well, simply implying that there could be a Council of Dooms or a Parliament of Dooms before we whittle things down to the final Doctor Doom could be enough of an answer to this question. To be clear, I don't think the majority of the Avengers Doomsday runtime is going to be centered on an army or a swarm or a legion or a dynasty of Dooms all fighting different groupings of the Avengers at the same time, as the plot structure of Avengers the Kang Dynasty seemed to be going for based on that mid-credit scene after Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. But I do think, as screenwriter Michael Waldron worked on both the previous iteration of the fifth Avengers movie, along with having written Multiverse of Madness, that was the version written by his buddy Jeff Loveness, and the new version that's now being overseen by the Russo brothers and Stephen McFeely, this idea of a multiversal parliament of the villains could stay intact in the form of Doctor Doom's backstory and the opening montage of the film to establish Downey's Doctor Doom as the true big bad of what's still considered Marvel's multiverse saga. We all have our guilty pleasures. For some of us, it's reality TV or fast food. For me, it's mobile games. I get sucked in so easily, particularly when there's city building and resource management involved. The sense of progress is so satisfying. I'm so sucked in. Heroes of History feels like it was created in a lab to make me want to play it hour after hour after hour. Heroes of History is a strategic city building and hero collection game featuring legendary historical and mythological icons like Einstein, Cleopatra, and Hercules. You can grow your cities, power up heroes, and battle in real time across both solo and multiplayer modes. I got sucked in pretty quickly. Get out of here, boars. I'm looking for gold. The on-ramp to the game has a really nice, easy rhythm of building farms and homes, collecting resources, and then building more farms and homes. But pretty quickly, you get to the strategy elements. There's research trees and battles and tons of heroes to collect. Plus, there's a really fleshed out event cycle with lots of other collectibles. It's obvious that even though I've poured so many hours into it, I'm just scratching the surface. I've been focused on solo gameplay, but there's cooperative and competitive multiplayer modes that I want to check out once I've got my bearings. I also really like that you can play anytime on mobile or browser. Whenever you've got a little downtime in a city building itch to scratch, Heroes of History will be there waiting for you. Start your own civilization today with Heroes of History. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description below. Use promo code STARTNOW when you sign up and you'll get a free legendary hero. So before any of you get too fired up over the idea of multiple Dooms, or even one of those Dooms that's not the Doom you had in mind, maybe really the idea here is a montage of a dozen other Dooms that get rapidly killed by our Doctor Doom. This idea of a Council of Dooms reminded some comic readers of Jason Aaron's recent 2021 Avengers Forever run, in which the May 2022 number 5 issue acquainted us with the Doom above all, the Doom Supreme, the Doom of Dooms, leader of the multiversal Masters of Evil. This Doom became Sorcerer Supreme in his reality and led the Masters of Evil to ravage the prehistoric Avengers of Earths across the multiverse, but he holds off from attacking Earth 616 prehistory until he's finished with the others. This Doom originally grafted his armor with the skin of a woman he loved to give it extra magical protection, and then he begins doing this with a reserve of Doom variants he keeps. And then he just kind of takes delight in offing other Doom variants that he just looks down on. Now, is this exactly the version of Dr. Doom the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. and McFeely and Waldron are adapting for this movie? Probably not. That comic just came out a few years ago. Really, is this team bound by any specific version of Dr. Doom from any one particular comic run, even including Jonathan Hickman's God Emperor Doom or Rabba Malal from the 2015 Secret Wars event? Probably not just that one either, knowing the Russo brothers. But maybe the idea of the Latvian seat in the Future Foundation being empty in Fantastic Four First Steps was to illustrate just that. Like, this 828 universe should have a Victor Von Doom in it, and the fact that he's not there means that that man was taken out. Where else did we see a mysteriously empty seat in a key multiverse saga movie? That 7th empty chair on the Illuminati dais in the Baxter Foundation of the 838 universe in Multiverse of Madness. Another absent Doom, perhaps, killed by Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom to demonstrate how terrifying he is. Now, some further updates as to who and who is not in this movie, in addition to the latest statement by Famke Janssen that she will not be returning as Jean Grey with the other X-Men characters. Elizabeth Olsen was interviewed by The Playlist for her new role in the film Eternity and said that she would not return in Avengers Doomsday and has no idea how or when Wanda might reappear, saying, quote, "I've been really proud of what we've been able to make. Really proud," Olsen said, of Wanda's journey through grief, power, and loss. "But I don't have an answer for that." When told fans could imagine her turning up in Avengers Doomsday, she smiled, quote, "Well, I can't. Honestly, I do wait. I want to see her return in this role because I think what they've done with her is really great. I love the journey she's taken. I think it's always a fun one to get back into, and I just have no idea how or when for sure." For what it's worth, Scarlet Witch updates on X, part of the Nexus Point News Collective and one of the more ardent followers of Elizabeth Olsen's career, reported, quote, "She's not lying. She wasn't in the last time I checked. Hopefully it changes with the additional photography." Speaking of that additional photography, The Hollywood Reporter published, Agbo and the Russos are in post-production on Avengers Doomsday, with additional photography expected to take place in the spring before cameras roll on Avengers Secret Wars in the summer. Meanwhile, as for whether Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight could appear in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars, the actor casts doubt on any kind of partnership with Disney, the parent company of Marvel and Star Wars, saying he is, quote, "not so open to working with Disney." After the Jimmy Kimmel suspension and reinstatement, he was referring more to coming back as Poe Dameron in Star Wars, adding, quote, "If they cannot succumb to fascism, that would be great."
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I'm open to it. Like, I'd be open to it. Although right now, I'm not so open to working with Disney. If they kind of figure it out and not succumb to fascism. But
that would be great.
That would be great.
I broke down the timeline of the Jimmy Kimmel FCC controversy in this video and how, even with Kimmel getting reinstated the following week, that still had a broader chilling effect on the industry and left some talent feeling that the company was way too quick to censor its creatives. But speaking that frankly about Disney suggests that Oscar Isaac isn't about to hit a press tour for the studio's biggest film of the following year. So really, what happened with the character of Moon Knight at Marvel Studios? Was it just that the character was so tied to the Egyptian origins of the Kang variant of Pharaoh Rama-Tut? Something that Kang Easter egg in episode 3 of Moon Knight on the back of the jean jacket seemed to suggest that now that the big bad is Dr. Doom, the Russos just didn't have as clear of a narrative path for Moon Knight and Khonshu to justify the VFX budget and an A-lister talent fee that would come with it. Could it also be just that Moon Knight's Disney Plus series ended with a fully new alter, Jake Lockley, fully at the wheel, and without a second season or any other appearance in the MCU since then, the Doomsday team just didn't have the bandwidth to explain and explore who Jake Lockley is? I think all of those could be part of the reason. But one thing I think we would have seen with Moon Knight and Khonshu in the previous version of this film was an explanation as to why the Kang who was assigned to Moon Knight, Rama-Tut, had such a broken body. Like, look closely at this guy and he's at least 50% cybernetic. This is a Kang with some battle wounds. And I think that concept is another thing that's being carried over to Dr. Doom in the Doomsday version of the story. It's why this Doom reportedly has a face covered in scarring that young Franklin Richards was reacting to. Hey, potential spoiler warning here. I don't even know if these photos are real, but like Robert Downey Jr. is gonna reportedly have some facial scarring. Nothing too severe that would make the actor's iconic appearance unrecognizable, but something significant enough that requires him to wear a mask. Hey, if this movie opens with multiple Dooms to establish Downey's Dr. Doom as the Doom above all, he's gonna need some scars to show for winning that dogfight. Comment down below with your thoughts, and a special thanks to one of our YouTube members, Frederick Price, for supporting us at the executive producer level. Big thanks to Studio Tech Brian Kim, New Rockstars editors Joshua Stephen Hurd and Abby Freel, and supporting editors Gregory Morgan and Song Kiatpiriya for all of their work on this video. Follow me at EA Voss, subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.